But yeah, speaking of NFL, it's becoming crunch time. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
It is crunch time.
Yes, it is.
The playoffs start this weekend. I mean, now it's the business end of the season.
Trust me.
But before we start off on playoff talk, obviously the teams are now certified. Those are in, those are out. Has there been any shocks for both of you? Because I was like, do you know what? Let me ask you guys when we're recording. Any shock teams that did make the playoffs and shock teams that overachieved and the teams that underachieved? That's how I meant to word it.
Well, the overachievers were clearly the Houston Texans, because
100%.
they what they were last year to what they are now. Obviously, D'Amico Ryans and
Coach of the year for me.
Yep, and CJ Stroud coming in.
Offensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
For me, anyway.
Could have been MVP.
Sleeper MVP for me.
Yeah, would be an MVP conversation. So definitely, they're the overachievers. I'd say for the one team. I say the underachievers
I think they're going to be a bit scary as well. You know?
Yes, they'll cause problems in the playoffs because you don't know, you don't know what you're getting.
When we do our picks after,
yeah,
that game's really interesting. But yeah,
and say the underachievers just because they should have made the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Very disappointing to finish the season. They were 8-3 at one point.
Exactly. You're 8-3. You don't make the playoffs. It's sad to see, to be fair, because at the start of the season I said, okay, they're on the up. Mm-hmm. Got a good head coach. Got a good quarterback.
Very good head coach, actually.
Well, Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yeah.
With the Eagles.
Not too long ago.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'd say definitely the Jacksonville Jaguars underachieved just because of how they ended their season. I know injuries played a part in that, but
it did. But Trevor was really disappointing.
Yeah,
and it was a bit of a surprise considering the way he ended last season.
Yes,
or his second half of last season. So, yeah, and the fact that Calvin Ridley came back this year. Obviously Christian Kirk was basically injured, but Trevor being injured hampered the team massively.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then the player that was terrible, I just gotta say it, Justin Herbert. Next, like this.
I won't even say terrible. I'd just say the Chargers. They just feel cursed.
Yeah, no, but he can't. He's not getting away with it anymore.
No, he's
not getting away with it anymore.
100% agree.
Because he's been getting away with it.
I wouldn't say he was terrible, but I 100% agree. He hasn't progressed.
No,
he's slightly regressed.
Yeah, we've been letting him off the hook. It's not us being letting him off the hook.
Me never.
The media members out there been letting him off the hook and getting at certain other players that I don't need to name because you know who they are, who we're talking about.
100%. It's because of you understand why they'll give him some leeway because of the natural talent, innit?
Yeah.
Natural talent, he's arguably top 5, maybe top 3 quarterback in the league, innit? And just in terms of talent, but bro is delivering, bruv. Just say it straight. If Lamar was playing the way he was,
they'll be killing him.
They'll be gunning him.
Lamar's never played this badly.
No, he hasn't.
This is the thing. Lamar might have not played well, but his teams have always won.
Yeah.
This is the thing. But Justin Herbert, playing bad.
He's a winning player.
Exactly.
That's what it is,
he affects winning. Justin Herbert, at this rate, I don't know what you affect.
Yeah.
Because you can't complain about your receiving core. You've got Keenan Allen. You've got people around you.
Mike Williams. He had a good receiving core.
This is the thing. You've got a good running game to an extent.
Yeah.
You have a good offense there.
Yeah, you got Austin Eckler there as well.
I think it's with the Chargers, though, their next coach is really important.
That's
them
true.
Especially. They, as much as talent as they've got on offense, where you think, they might not need an offensive-minded coach. I feel like he probably does, isn't it? Whereas now they've been linked to another more defensive-minded coaches, the ones that are somewhat free agents and stuff like that, or the one that I was listening after watching the Michigan game, Washington college football final, Jim Harbaugh, innit?
Yeah.
Is it Jim or John? I've done this last week.
Jim. Yeah.
And obviously he's known as the quarterback whisperer to an extent. So if the Chargers can, I mean, it's LA.
Yeah, it is.
New stadium.
It is.
You couldn't buy, but yeah, no, I'm trying to think who was my overachievers. Have you got any overachievers and underachievers?
Underachievers were Chargers, man. Absolute dog.
I just said absolute dog,
Yeah, I'm gonna eliminate the other part of that.
You see me say the absolute dog. That means they were terrible.
No, bro, I expected them to be in the playoffs at least.
No, same.
Yeah, it's true. They actually finished 5-12. That's
5-12.
Terrible.
obviously Herbert missed like the last 3 or 4 games or whatever, but still they
That
were
means
making
he was
the
what
playoffs.
he wasn't even 5-12. He was terrible this year, man.
It was
Yeah,
horrible, man. Even if he was there for those 3 games, and if they won those games, it'd be 8-9, still under 500.
Yeah, but they weren't winning those games.
Nah,
no,
He
No
weren't.
excuse.
He weren't.
but yeah,
Minnesota Vikings. I expected a bit more from them,
but I think
but they've had that like overall they've just been hampered with injuries.
Yeah,
I think once Kirk Cousins got injured, I did not really see
That was it. Yeah.
I think once Justice Jefferson got injured early on, that was them. Even though Kirk Cousins was helping them along the way,
But
once
even
you lose
when
a starting
I think when
quarterback-
Jefferson got injured, they started to pick up wins. Like, what's the other receiver? Is it Addison?
yes, yeah, they got good receiving.
Kirk
corner.
Cousins
Yeah.
was like finding a good connection. They got TJ Hawkinson.
Yes.
He's highest paid tight end. Like for me, I feel like Kirk would have been in the MVP race. I don't know. I feel like I've said this before, haven't I? Because, bro, Kirk played 8 games. I think he'd be if they doubled his stats from. Obviously that's just projecting, but touchdowns, he would have been leading touchdown.
He had 23, didn't he?
Something like that,
yeah. He had 23.
And bearing in
Like
mind, he played
five
exactly
turnovers.
half the season.
Yeah.
And Dax end up leading touchdown on 36 or something.
Yeah.
So, and Kirk throws yards.
Yeah.
Like
He's
the
always-
Vikings were picking up heat. Defense was showing up. Like they would have been in the playoffs for me.
Oh,
So
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I won't. Yeah, with them, I'd say more or less overachievers. Definitely, like you said, Houston. I was gonna say Rockets as well. Texans. CJ Stroud, mate, from number 2 draft to winning your division. Not even obviously getting in the playoffs, but winning division. And the coach as well.
Green Bay. Did you put them up there? Overachievers.
No, because Jordan Love has been watching Aaron Rodgers for years, so he was the system was there ready for him.
Fair.
I feel like the system was there ready for him.
I'd say in season, from his slump, many people might not have predicted to them. I feel like the Chiefs win gave them real belief.
Yeah.
And they end up making the playoffs through that. And just like another team I feel like should deserve a good shout out is the LA Rams.
Yes,
Because it was not looking good for
It wasn't
them.
looking
Yeah.
good for them at all.
Not looking good. And Matt Stafford has come back and thrown the hell out the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Puka
he's-
Nacua, who should arguably be offensive rookie of the year, bro.
Yeah.
He's almost changed my mind about him.
Who, Matt Stafford? Bro, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I feel like he just needed certain pieces around him as well.
100%.
Obviously, Cooper Cup, but Puka Nacua, he's special, bruv. Broke
Yeah.
the receiving record for rookies in
Yeah.
NFL history. They're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, it's not someone you want to match up with.
You
in the playoffs.
don't want to face them,
Yeah.
especially now they're getting healthy.
Yeah.
They've got Super Bowl winning players in. Like, obviously, the team's a bit higgy-haggy,
Yeah.
but bro, like,
It's a playoffs. One off. It's
yeah,
one off.
it's
literally-
nuts. They're the
it's
team
yeah,
you
it's
don't
one
want
of
to
them
face.
ones.
So, yeah, I
You
think
know, and the Eagles, the back end of their season was disappointing.
very
That's
disappointing.
because they started 10-1
all their
and
losses
didn't
ain't
get 12
hurt.
wins.
Yeah.
Started 10-1 and did not get 12 wins.
Finished what 1-6.
Yeah.
Didn't they flipped it now.
So, and
1-5. Sorry.
and regardless of your injuries they had and that sort of stuff, the Philadelphia Eagles were not great towards the end of the season.
Cleveland Browns impressed me though.
They
Joe
were very,
Flacco.
they were very impressive.
Yeah.
They're one of the impressive teams.
They're one of the scarier
Because
teams.
they started without Deshaun, innit?
Did he play the first
Because
game?
now it's starting to feel like it was time ago.
I felt like he was so in and out that it was
I
it was just
can't fully remember.
Yeah,
I feel like he only had like one good game or one good half.
Baltimore.
And
Ravens.
they came back and won, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they've had issues at QB, issues at running back.
Who, the Browns?
Yeah,
Yeah. Their team, they're a dangerous team.
They still
actually.
managed to finish above the Dolphins.
Especially with, but that's, seeding wise. But,
Yeah.
they're going to be dangerous because Joe Flacco's been here and done this.
Yep, many a time as well.
Dolphins have disappointed me though, but they've showed themselves to be a young team.
I'm not surprised by them though.
This is the Dolphins. I think they've shown us this before.
Yeah, even when they were doing super well, I was
Yeah.
like, I said it earlier on in the season. I was like, they're not going to keep this up.
Yeah.
And they don't beat anyone with a winning record.
Yeah,
Nah.
Tyreek's not throwing to himself, so
Yeah.
bro,
That's true.
I
If you-
mean,
if you
he's that quick.
if you can contain him to an extent, you've contained the Dolphins majority of the time. So, yeah, don't let him get over 100 yards and you might win. Literally, feel like that's been the
Yeah.
mantra. And like you said, against good teams. So,
And if Jalen Waddle's out, which he has been the last few weeks, it's not been great.
Yes.
Viewing. It hasn't been great viewing at all. Watching them hasn't been good. It used to be fun. Like the first start of the season, I was like, oh yeah, this is exciting to watch. Now it's like, you guys know what you're doing out there.
Putting up 70 points against the Broncos, all that jazz.
Now now it's hard to get past 14.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
yeah.